Hang on, people. It's pretty interesting. So first, Project Veritas sent an investigator into Rose City Antifa. And he says some pretty interesting things in here. And then I'm going to show you another video to where it almost absolutely 100% proves what he's saying, and it sets up a perfect criminal conspiracy, RICO, I mean, just all kind of crimes for Antifa. So let's take a look at a little bit of this.
City Antifa since July of 2000. Depending on the setting, if I were to be caught or found out in a setting where I am present with them, it could escalate to violence against me.
Don't be that f***ing guy with the goddamn spiked brass knuckles getting photos taken of you. Police are going to be like, perfect, we can prosecute these f***ers. Look how violent they are. Right?
Okay, so it sounds like they're just coaching these guys how to not get caught up. I'm okay with that. You could tell someone how to defend himself.
Not that we're not, but we do f***ing hide.
He talks about all these guys always wearing black. It's kind of like their unofficial uniform. For a gang to be called a gang, it has to be 2 or more people acting in unison to commit crimes in the furtherance of the crime, having a common uniform, color, sign, symbol, rules, regulations. Antifa absolutely fits into the definition of what a gang is.
Rose City Antifa, and I am about halfway through the prospecting process to become a full-fledged member of Antifa.
Okay, when he talks about prospect, a lot of the Hells Angels was one of the first ones that made it popular, is you got to have a prospect. If anybody watched, what was that show that was pretty good on TV about the motorcycle gang? Anarchy. Sons of Anarchy. That was a great series, by the way. I wish I could find it again to watch it because it was pretty good. Lots of ticks. But anyway, I digress. When you talk about a prospect, that means you have rules. You have to compete. You have to prove your worth. You have to do things in order to prove your value to the organization, which makes it an organization, which means you have rules to follow. All that makes a gang.
If you ruin their day, if you heckle them, you make them feel like they look ridiculous, you make them feel outnumbered, and therefore their whole yay yay America Trump thing is going to go by the wayside.
They reached out to me through Proton Mail, and we went back and forth, and there was an interview set to meet up in Portland. So to verify that it was me, they had me wear a white shirt and have a water bottle and show up at a Starbucks where...
That's pretty good. If you meet somebody, and that's unfortunately any recruiting technique, Patriots, militia, criminal gang, whatever. You don't know who's who until you meet them. And when you have a face-to-face, if it's an undercover cop, I mean, you get it in a place to where you can probably follow him. You know where he's going to go. That way you can tell if he's followed. I mean, when we were doing undercover buys or undercover stings, or we had an informant in, when he would make a place to meet, we would always get there before, order coffee. We would never follow him in. There would be, we might have a plane following him in, or we might have a car shadowing him on 2 streets over to where they could talk to him, but we wouldn't follow them to where anybody following him could tell that he was being followed. We would meet there earlier. So these guys are using what I would consider somewhat sophisticated or planned tactics in order to make you wear something specific and have a bottle so they can ID you without giving up their ID so you can ID them. That way they maintain control whether or not they want the meeting to progress or to cancel, and you never know. A lot harder to make a case on somebody like that.
A person was going to ID me and approach me and asked who I was, and I told them, and I followed them to the destination where the interview was going to be held. There, we went to a place called Imperial for her living. Caroline, which is the founder of RCA, moved to Sweden with her husband, who is a dual citizen. So there's a back and forth.
Typical liberal. Dual citizen, don't like America, hates everything about America, blames, she's white, she's probably going to blame white people. I mean, just Typical left-wing liberal. Antifa is owned, run, operated, paid by them. If you look at all the problems going on right now with all these riots and everything, it all goes down to left-wing voters, left-wing cities, left-wing populists, left-wing nobody has guns. They're out there trying to defend themselves from the riots with freaking swords, and they're getting beat up and killed and run over because they can't have the right to defend themselves. All left-wing, tied to it 100% like their hands are joined for life. And people be like, why you always blaming the left, Rick? It's not... Shut up, you freaking crybabies.
For the European connection. Back and
Gee, that
forth
was
with the
nice.
European connection.
Black Lives Matter, right there on the window. Wow, sell. Black Lives Matter. Wow. Is that supposed to be black? What? Ives, attic. What are they doing? Are they trying to like spell, what is this, freaking crossword puzzle? What? LVE, crack, black, lack. What? I don't get it. Black? There's no L. Oh, they left out the L and the M. Well, maybe they didn't. Maybe the truck's covering it up. All right, I made something out of nothing. Whatever. Move on, you freaking crybaby.
Rose City Antifa holds required lectures for prospecting members in secret at, in other words, bookstore before they open. And as part of their security culture, they require us to put our phones in the bathroom next door. This bathroom is not only away from the main room where the lecture is taking place, but also has a fan that muffles any sound from the room.
Again, all good tactics. This group is thinking, they're planning, they're making sure who their members are. If they weren't engaged in criminal activity, all this would be fine and smart. But the fact that they're engaging, promoting, and supporting ongoing criminal acts, that's what makes it a problem.
The whole goal of this, right, is to get out there and do dangerous things as safely as possible.
How violent is Antifa, or RCA in particular?
Practice things like an eye gouge. It takes very little pressure to injure someone's eye.
That's a good point. If you're defending yourself, that's good. If you're going out there to attack people, not good.
They do not hesitate to either push back or incite some kind of violence. In our classes and in our meetings, before we do any sort of demonstration or black bloc, we talk about weapons detail and what we carry and what we should have. What is black bloc? Well, this is black bloc right now. The term is used to a tactic in which individuals conceal their identity to look uniform so that no one can be identified in an act of a crime. With RCA, it seems much more structured, almost like a company or like a business. So, I feel like there is some type of outside funding, influence, or resources.
There is outside funding. Everybody wants to blame Soros, and maybe he is, maybe he isn't, but still, whatever it is, it's left-wing money. It's left-wing people. It's the people that want to destroy America, that hate freedoms, and then want to tell you, oh, we care about women, we care about Black Lives Matter, we care about blacks, we care about illegals, we care about everybody except you pesky, stinking, founding fathers, American-loving patriots. We hate you.
Is being used.
Consider like destroying your enemy, not like delivering a really awesome right hand, left eye blow, It's not boxing, it's not kickboxing.
The fact that they're having meetings with a leader and they're getting instructions on how to do this, I mean, this bookstore where they're having their meetings and they're doing these groups, all those things are part of the criminal conspiracy, criminal acts. I mean, this is an easy case to make with just this video. You can get conspiracy, gang-related serious crimes with these people right here with just this one video. Why isn't Antifa shut down? Well, because, it's promotes the left wing, maybe? Maybe.
It's like destroying your enemy.
Okay, so let's get to the next video now. Okay, so this guy does a pretty good video, and he seems like a pretty good dude, and he's pretty observant, and he picks up some good things. Now, I also got to say, he's a little bit biased, because he does seem to only pick out that it's all the white people, and it's all, even though there are black people jumping in there and destroying the thing, he concentrates on the white people. So, overall, I think he did a pretty good job, but he lost a little bit of credibility that he was pushing an agenda when he didn't point out the black people that joined in. Now, I will agree that it appears that the white people that were probably part of this Antifa was the one instigating and starting this. So let's take a look at his video.
Yo, what's up? Yesterday I was at the protest in Los Angeles and I saw the cop car that got lit on fire by people that weren't a part of the protest, and I tweeted it out how it was staged and how people that that were part of the protest did not have anything to do with that. And my tweet went viral, and I just broke down the video, and I want to show you guys how I know that it was staged and that those people were not a part of the protest.
And he does a pretty good job.
All right, this is a very important screenshot of the video right here. We see 3 of the characters involved. The woman in the purple backpack, the lady in the yellow hat, and the guy that's fully...
I actually think this guy's involved too. And if you look at the previous video I just did where they wear that black garb, that black uniform, face covered, all in black, it's very easy to tell who's on your team. This guy's on my team. This guy's on my team. This guy is in black, but he doesn't have his face covered like these guys. Well, Rick, maybe they're just for the corona. Nah, bullshit. This is more than coronavirus.
...rap that lit the car on fire. I replayed this clip over because in the background you can hear somebody saying, "Why is it all white guys though?" This is a very important screenshot here because it looks as though the lady in the yellow is talking to the man that lit it on fire. Throughout...
Now, I'm not so sure they are talking. It does look like they might be saying something and communicating. Again, when your mouth is covered, you can't tell when somebody's talking or communicating. Is this girl looking at them? It almost looks like she's looking at them talking to each other. So this would be a little bit of an indicator that they probably are talking.
The whole video, it doesn't look as though they are operating as a team. However, if you look really closely, you can see them communicating with each other because they go systematically in order. And here you can see the other person that lit the car on fire, for some reason, leaving into the crowd. Of course he comes back.
Okay, I don't know if you guys saw that. I'm going to get this girl right here in purple. Watch right here in this corner, people. So this girl with the purple backpack, he talks about her and she gets involved. She's not necessarily dressed in black, but you got this girl in a black shirt. She's got a black shirt. A lot of people wearing black shirts because Black Lives Matter. But she was talking to the other dude, and now this girl is Miss Spray Painter. And she throws the can of spray paint at the car, which to me is pretty normal. Now, he says this is an old police car. How did it end up here? He almost kind of implies that this car was set up to be burnt by other... I don't believe that. This car could have been abandoned because a crowd gathered and cops jumped out. I don't know. Maybe it ran out of gas. Maybe it just stopped. Maybe it broke down. I don't know. But to me, this was a workable car. It's got the GPS locators on the top. I think this is a usable car. I don't agree with him there. Here's a guy in all black covering his face.
Alright, if you look closely in the bottom left, you can see the same woman that was spray painting earlier. You can see her backpack on her back and the top of her head, and you see a bottle in the air. She's throwing the bottle. She's the first one to start setting it off.
Now, there's a guy here that's not covered up that's spray painting, and he doesn't mention this guy. So that's where I'm saying he's got some good points, but there's other people doing things in his car just besides the black. I'm not saying those guys aren't working together or he's not onto something, but there's other people doing things in the car, not just all the people dressed in black who I think are Antifa.
They got the professionals.
However, that guy did look white. I mean, he could have been Mexican. Again, color to me is not... I don't really give a shit. I mean, everybody wants to make it about color. White, that's black, that. Whatever. It's freaking behavior.
It's like a big sticker, too.
I don't know why he makes some point about this, and I missed the point. Other than checking out her butt. Is it the shoes? Is it because she's white? I don't know why he comes down here twice and he says something and I can't make it out.
It's like a big sticker, too.
Alright, yo, so if you listen closely, you can hear me say, wait, that's an old sticker? I'm looking, I'm being aware, and I'm already starting to get suspicious.
So after slowly trying to get people to join in and partake, it doesn't work. So what do? Step 2, take it to the next level.
I think it doesn't make sense.
Now, I don't know if this guy is white, but he's definitely all black, hood, and carry. Rick, hoodies are bad? Whatever. When you use it to conceal your identity, they are bad.
It doesn't make sense.
All right, yo, so this is my first time literally ever at a protest. All right, yo, so this is my first time literally ever at a protest, and I'm sitting here watching it live, and you can hear me. I say it.
Take it to the next level.
Okay, I want you to watch right here. This is the guy, but he cuts the tape as soon as a black person joins in.
I think it doesn't make sense.
Right here, a black person joins in kicking. He doesn't point that out. Now, again, it's easy to play the victim. This poor guy was manipulated by this poor guy and the other people, and it's not his fault. Bullshit. Everybody's destroying his car. Everybody's responsible for their own actions.
It doesn't make sense.
All right, yo, so this is my first time literally ever at a protest, and I'm sitting here watching it live, and you can hear me. I say it doesn't make sense.
Black person. I think he's a black person. Maybe not.
So immediately whenever the car starts getting smashed, we got my boy that's never skated a day in his life running in to smash the windows, which they need to smash so that they can spray the lighter fluid or gasoline in.
Okay, he says this guy's never skated a day in his life. I don't know where he got a skateboard. Skateboards aren't really cheap, but these wheels look like they've been used. They don't look fresh. So whether or not this guy's a skater or not, I've seen in different protests, a lot of people with skateboards. Now, the reason why people carry skateboards, and I've told people this, if you carry a weapon to defend yourself, don't call it a weapon. Make sure it has a lawful use. If a cop stops this guy and go, what's a skateboard for? Well, it's for skateboarding, so I can have transportation. Okay, lawful use, not a weapon. I can't do anything as a cop. If you tell me when I stop you, what's a skateboard for? It's so I can knock out windows with it and hit motherfuckers in the head that are after me and defend myself. Now it's a weapon. Now I can arrest you for carrying a weapon. So it's all a matter on how you have to describe what you're carrying. That's why I tell people, carry things that have a legitimate lawful use. If you carry a bat, I busted I don't know how many gang members with bats because it was weapons. And they'd always say it's for baseball. And in my report, I would always say, I searched the car and there wasn't a baseball, there wasn't a baseball glove, there wasn't another bat, there wasn't cleats, there was no other baseball gear except this bat. This bat has dinks in it and nicks in it and big holes in it from hitting hard things like concrete. It wouldn't be used on a baseball field because it would tear up the baseball. That's how I justified that it was a weapon and it wasn't for baseball. Now, it made it easier if the gang member was stupid and said, yo, man, that's for protection. I got to protect myself from the other gangs. That made it a little bit easier, but if they didn't say that, I could still make a case. Now, if the smart gang members carried baseball bats, they would have a glove, a baseball with a couple baseballs, maybe another bat, maybe a pair of cleats, maybe a baseball bag. Now, it looks like it's for baseball. I can't do anything, even though I know it's for beating the hell out of somebody. So, words matter. But anyway, I digress.
Inside the car.
Another guy on here. So, there's definitely other people besides all the black guys. I'm not trying to protect Antifa. This guy's doing, there's just other people tearing up this car.
And this right here is what I mean when I say they're a team. The two skateboarders at the same time come from different sides, and they're swinging their skateboards at the exact same time.
Okay. Was that planned? I don't know. I don't think they're that sophisticated. They were probably told, use your skateboard and bust out the windows so we can get lighter fluid in there. So, does it matter what window? Why? What would be the purpose of two guys with skateboards? This is my cop perspective. This guy's not a cop. There would be no point in both of you attacking the same window. If you need two people to break a window with a skateboard, you're pretty weak. I think they just happened to be here because there was people here, they couldn't hit this window. There was people here, the back window was already busted out, and they happened at the same window. I don't think this so much shows a lot of planning, but it could show they're working together.
And immediately once the glass gets shattered, we have the woman throwing the water bottle into the car, which is lighter fluid. And then we have the man that lit the car on fire returning back to the scene to light the car on fire.
This is pretty incriminating for this woman. But again, how are you going to ID her? This isn't... facial recognition will not get her. Now, if somebody else has video of her later, and she's taking her helmet off, and she's taking her mask off, and she's getting in her personal car, and that shows up in a video, now we can identify her. And then you got to prove, was that lighter fluid or was it water? She's going to say it was water. Matter of fact, I think she throws it out this window. She throws it so hard, I think it comes out this window.
Fire. And look at the guy that's inside the car. You'll see what he's doing at the end of the video.
Yeah, see here it comes right out the window here. So she doesn't even get it in the damn window.
Video.
It comes right out. Good job, woman. Rick, women are just as good. Okay, yeah, you can't even hit the freaking inside of a car with a freaking water bottle you're standing next to, and you can't even get the water bottle in. Antifa needs to up their training. But I digress.
Alright, and if you look closely, you can see everybody that is really involved in this. You can barely see their eyes. We have the guy lighting the car on fire. You can't see his eyes. We have the other guy.
I agree. Good point. These guys, I would say, according to the first part of the video about Antifa, is exactly what they were told to wear, and they are working together.
Guy in the corner of the screen. You can't see his eyes. He's throwing a rock. These guys are for sure together.
I think this guy's with him. This guy may be talking to him. He may be with him too. The girl is definitely in just about every scene. This was the girl, I think, earlier with the purple backpack that started the spray paint. She had that black tank top on.
And look who returns, the woman that started it all. She was the first woman to spray paint the car, throw something at the car, then she comes back with lighter fluid.
I guess he covers that.
On fire.
I'm not trying to steal his thunder, sorry. So I think this guy, and this guy are all together. They are gloves, fingerprints, mask, all dressed the same. This guy's with them. I mean, these guys, this is what's called a common uniform, and unfortunately, with the, coronavirus, wearing masks, this is the perfect storm. That's why these riots suddenly, after being locked down from the coronavirus and a black man gets killed, suddenly this all happens right close to the election when Trump can't have his rallies, but Antifa and the left can get out and push their agenda. Seems awful convenient. Now this guy's walking away from the crowd.
And after successfully getting the car lit on fire, he runs away.
Again, black guy, no hood, with a skateboard. He doesn't mention him doing damage. He only mentions the white Antifa people. This woman coming back again to do more stuff. She's absolutely working with those hooded people. I think all these guys are together. And this is a coordinated attack. This video is an easy prosecution video for the prosecution if you can ID these people. And all you gotta do is ID one, he'll roll on the others. Black man with a skateboard. He doesn't mention that. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that. Black man here, throwing something in there. Doesn't mention that.
But the man that lit the fire, he comes back, if you can see him right there in the distance.
No mention of the two black guys beating the car up. Black man skateboard, black man skateboard.
And as fast as it started, they all get out of there.
So she picks up her purple bag. So, I mean, look, does this corroborate what the Project Veritas just said about them planning, telling them how to do it, have operations, how to wear the same gear, how to talk, how to communicate, how to get in, get out? And it's a pretty incriminating video. I thought it was interesting. All right, we'll end that there.